up, beautiful people? It's your favorite baby mama, Stormy Pea, and this is another episode of Chocolate Chip and Sip. And today, we have a very special episode for you guys. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm sick of opening my phone to go on Al Gore's internet and hearing about the same damn thing every day. Should you go 50-50? Oh, should you split? How just the men be sassy when we ain't doing that today. Today, we got a very special episode for y'all. I got one of my longtime friends here with me. We go way back. He say he not outside. I say he outside adjacent. But I'd like to introduce you all to my good friend, Kevin. Hello, Kevin.
Hey, what's up? How are you?
I'm doing very good. Now, Kevin, you're here for a very special reason today. Because you are what I like to call the voice of the vasectomy. Yeah, you heard that right. I said the voice of the vasectomy, okay? You know, there's this narrative of black men just going around sowing their seed all over the place, but that's not you.
No, not at all.
That's not you.
Nah, not at all.
So, first of all, how long have you had a vasectomy?
April 8th, 2017.
Okay. Oh, so that joint like locked in.
Yeah, we locked in.
Okay,
8 years.
Please. I just would love to know the story of how this came about. You just woke up one day and said, you know what? Cut these soldiers off.
No, nah. So I mean, it's more complex than that.
Mm-hmm.
I had my first child when I was 19. So she
Damn.
conceived at 18. So as soon as I started getting active,
You got active.
Active got me. And, so I had my first kid when I was 19. So my first couple years of having her, I was dibbling and dabbling through different jobs. I was working 2 jobs at one point, 3 jobs at one point, just trying to make ends meet. And her grandfather was a police officer at the time. Mm-hmm. And he was just like, yo, like instead of working all these crazy jobs to take care of my granddaughter, why don't you apply for the police department? And I'm like, I ain't doing nothing else. So I applied and they hired me.
I just want to say this is my favorite narc.
I'm not doing that anymore. I left almost 2 years ago.
Well, he used to be my favorite narc. But speaking of working all these odd jobs, that's where I met you at one of your odd jobs.
Yeah, we worked at Sears. Rest in peace, Sears.
Yeah.
That was what?
You telling everybody how old I am, and I don't like that. You could have just said at a store. You could have just said at a store.
2006, 2007, Willow Grove Mall, yeah.
I was still like a baby. I just got my like working permit, just so y'all know. So
yeah, I was in the stock room.
So have you ever had a girl say like, you know, she's not interested because
of?
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I've been dumped because of it.
Dumped is different than being turned down. So which one is it?
Both. I've been dumped because of it. I've been turned down because of it. I've been fake turned down and someone pretended they cared, but they didn't care until they made up their mind that they wanted a baby and I was incapable.
Y'all see how men like to play the victim? Because why would he turn this into, woe is me, I've been turned down.
No, I'm just saying.
All my life I had to fight. Why would he act like that, y'all?
I'm just saying it's different scenarios. Like every scenario is different, but like how I approached it when I first got it, as opposed to how I approach it now, is totally different. I don't. Back then, I didn't lie about it, but so I wasn't forthcoming about it. Like instead of saying, "Hey, I cannot have children anymore," I would just say things like, "I don't want children anymore."
Okay.
And that caused problems.
Okay. Now on the flip side, have women been more interested because you don't you can't have kids because you do have a vasectomy?
Nah, a lot of times if I tell them, they'll act like it's a problem if they don't have kids or if they have kids and want more kids. They act like it's an issue, but then they'll keep talking to me.
I just want to go back for a second.
Sure.
I feel like we didn't really get to the meat of why you decided to let all your soldiers go on to glory.
That's a crazy way to put it. So, like I said, I had my first child when I was 19. So she was conceived at 18, had her in April of 2005. That's a long time ago. And so I went basically my whole 20s like being a dad. I didn't get to do the trips to Miami with my homeboys. I didn't get to do the guys' trips, the fellas' trips. I did smaller things like Sixers games, baseball games, Eagles games, but I didn't really get to travel because I was working to provide for my daughter.
Okay.
And that was always like first to me. That was always the first thing. So as I got into my late 20s, I met my second and final and youngest daughter's mom. And at that point, my oldest was 11. And well, she was 11 when my youngest was born, but at the time that she and I met, I think she was 8.
Yeah.
So we went like 3 years of off and on dating and all that stuff. You know how it goes. And she eventually, we eventually did conceive a child. But prior to having number 2, I was already kind of like low key flirting with the idea of like, damn, I'm about to go ahead and cut the line, because I always loved the idea of being like 37 with an 18-year-old. I always remember the number. I'll be 37 with an 18-year-old. I'll be one and done, and I'm outside. Not outside like in the streets, but just
because I just want to go boop, 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 and go back to the beginning of the episode when I said, okay.
Well, when I say outside, I mean like just without the responsibility of a small child. So her being 18, me being 37, and just having one kid, I'm like, yo, that's ideal. I want to go and see the world. I want to do all the things I didn't get to do in my 20s.
And it was never to go back and have another one. Like, it was never like I want to, have my youth, and then I'm still young enough to pivot into if I want to grow with my wife or whatever the case may be.
No, because I was totally fine with one. So I knew one was like great for me. And then I'm like, because my daughter's mom didn't have any kids at the time, you know how you see forever at some point, like, oh, we're going to do this forever, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, well, I won't do it because she and I are together. But it was always something that I thought about. I just wasn't vocal about it. It was something I considered. So, obviously she and I had the conversation, which showed me that she was, pregnant. And I was happy. I was like, great, cool. Like, I'm cool with this. But then deep down inside of me, I'm like, I'm 2 and done. And I knew it. I knew I was 2 and done. I knew I didn't want 3.
Did you talk to her about having a vasectomy after y'all had your daughter?
If I remember, we had like small conversations about it, but I don't remember what her reaction was. It was almost 10 years ago.
You know what? Your body, your choice, King.
Thank you. I appreciate that. So yeah. But I mean, I think that if she and I were like still together, and it was like one of those healthy, like long-term things I see us just never breaking up, then I probably wouldn't have done it.
Yeah.
So my issue was at the point of like she and I kind of, getting to that, starting to separate phase, I knew more and more that it was something that I was probably going to have to do. Not because I didn't have self-control or anything like that. I just did not want to enter that arena again. I just I don't want to do this again. I think kids are wonderful. But I don't want to change diapers anymore. I don't want to buy wipes. I don't want to pick up and drop off a kid from daycare. I don't want to do all that stuff.
Yeah.
And I want my money. I want to be able to enjoy my money. I'm being honest. And I say that because in 2014, 2015, I was making $90,000 to $100,000 a year. Like, people say cops don't make money. That's the biggest lie. Cops make a lot of money. I was doing well. I was making somewhere between 80, 90, 100,000 a year, depending on how hard I was grinding. And I only had one kid at the time. And I'm like, this is not enough money. Like, because I have to get her stuff. I have to give her mom money. I have to buy her clothes, sneakers, and things like that. And I'm just like, damn, like, after you pay rent and you pay your car note and everything like that, there's not enough money left. So I kind of look around the room at other men who make half as much as I were making, who had 3 times as many kids. I'm like, how do you do it? Like,
well, the problem is, spoiler alert, none of this is enough money to survive right now. Like, when you think about it, when you think about it, I know inflation is a thing, but the math ain't mathing when it comes to inflation. Because back in the day, like, our granddads would be able to buy a house, provide for 2 families, his real one and his secret one down the street that everybody act like they don't know about, but we really do. And it was fine. Like, he was able to purchase that home by himself.
Right.
Like, even with inflation now, there are not a lot of people who can put a down payment on or own a home by themselves.
I'm saying, even inflation aside, even if inflation wasn't a thing, kids still require things.
That's true.
Daycare bills are still a thing. Sneakers and things like that. Things cost money. And for me, you feel like you working all these hours and it's just never enough money. So I see people with a bunch of kids, like men with a bunch of kids who don't make the money that I was making. And I'm not saying this as like a flex or a brag, but I was just looking at the economy, like how
are you surviving, my nigga?
How do you take care of 5 kids by 4 women, and you work in retail? Like,
they don't.
And no disrespect to the retail
they don't.
People. And I can't say that they don't, because they do, but I think it's just harder. And I think time and money go hand in hand. If you want to spend time with your kids, you have to sacrifice the money that you make if you're doing it by legal means.
Right.
So you only, you're a 9 to 5. You're not a lawyer, real estate doctor, nothing like that. But you really got to grind, because most of us are blue collar 9 to 5 workers. and or midnight to 8 or whatever it is. And I just knew that the more children I had, the more I'd have to work. And I didn't want to spend the rest of my life working overtime to provide for kids because you can't enjoy life.
Yeah.
And I knew after what I experienced in my 20s, I didn't want to go through that in my 30s and 40s.
I agree. I think that is a powerful point. I'm very much team vasectomy, team birth control, team sit on that table. Okay. Sometimes you got to put yourself first. And I think that's why a lot of people are so depressed. They don't realize they're overworking
I'm
themselves.
glad you said the part about putting yourself first because I had people tell me it was a selfish thing to do. I'm like, yes, it was very selfish. It was selfish for me.
Yeah.
And we got to realize that being selfish is not a bad thing. Sometimes you have to be selfish and make the best decision for you and put what other people think aside. Because, yes, I'm selfish. I got a vasectomy because I wanted to. Because guess who's not going to help me take care of the kid? A bunch of people who got an opinion about it. You're not going to help me with it. So, I mean, it's just a situation that I just didn't want to deal with. I made a decision that I decided I didn't want any more kids because it's something that I'd have to deal with. And it's just something I don't want to deal with. Again, I think kids are awesome. I think kids are wonderful. If I was married to one woman, I'd probably have 4 or 5. But because I have 2 kids by 2 women, I was like, I will not in any circumstance have 3 kids by 3 women. I'm not picking up a baby from South Philly. I'm not picking up another from West Philly. And I'm not picking up another one from Chestnut Hill. Too much. I'm not doing it.
So because you already have kids, do you think that makes you date more intentionally, or you can just be free because you already know what you want and what you don't want?
I don't know how to answer that. I don't know how to answer that question. I don't know how to answer that.
What's the funniest story behind telling a woman that you have a vasectomy?
The funniest story? I don't know if I have a funny story, but I have a good story.
Okay.
So I used to, before I would tell women, I was being a little deceptive. I'm not going to lie. I was kind of being a little, I was playing word games. I wasn't lying about what it was, but I wasn't being forthcoming about the vasectomy. So I would meet a woman, and this is a true story. So don't kill me if you hear this.
I hope you hear this, queen. Get your justice, queen.
Nah, she's moved on to far greater things than I was probably going to offer her.
Like kids.
Yes, yeah, like kids. Yeah, she has a child now. So it was a young lady I was very interested in. Very, very beautiful young lady. And played the cat and mouse game for a while. She gave me some play eventually, and we went out a couple times. And one night we, were intimate, right? And this is the funniest story. So I had told her prior to us dating that I didn't want any more kids. I had already had a vasectomy, but I didn't say I couldn't have any more. I just said I didn't want it.
Wow. Is that lying?
It's more complex than lying. I think it's a little more to it. I think it's a half truth.
A half
I feel like it's a half
truth.
truth, and they say half truths are whole lies. But in this case, I don't feel like I lied. I said I didn't want any more kids. And she was like, well, that's a deal breaker for her because she wants kids.
Okay.
And I'm like, well, I don't want any more. I didn't say I couldn't have any more.
And this is right up front.
This was early on.
Okay.
I was like, I don't want any more kids. And she was like, well, this ain't going to work because I want kids.
Okay.
And I'm like, I respect that. But she continued to talk to me. And one night, this was some years ago, we went back to her place. And, one thing led to another, adulting. And
You be talking like you still on stand.
what you mean?
Like you giving a testimony.
Because I don't want to be raunchy.
Okay.
I'll try to keep it PG. We were intimate, and that's funny because now I feel like now I can't unsee it.
My
I was
man giving
really
his
good.
testimony.
I was really good in courts. I was really good at testifying. So we went back to her place, and we were intimate, and I used protection or whatever. And in the midst of intercourse, the condom broke, and I didn't know until we were finished. And at the end, stop laughing. It's serious business.
You talking like Detective Stabler.
Whatever's clever. Whatever. So, the condom had broke, and I didn't know until we finished. So when I realized, I was like, oh shit, the condom broke. And she did the whole, she was all frantic, and I was just like, oh, okay.
Why you should have played it off and gave her the $50 so she can get the plan B.
No, because I didn't feel it necessary. But at the moment, it was just whatever to me because I knew nothing was going to happen. But she didn't know that. I told her I couldn't have any. I told her I didn't want any more. I didn't tell her I couldn't have any. So, so I ended up, we ended up cleaning up and going to sleep or whatever. Then the next morning, I got up, cleaned myself up, got up and left and went home or whatever. And she texted me, was like, I want to talk to you. I was like, what's up? She was like, last night when the condom broke, you had no reaction. What was up with that? I said, oh, I had a vasectomy. Just like that, I was like, I had a vasectomy. And she was like, you what? And I was like, yeah, I had a vasectomy. She's like, you didn't tell me that. if you told me that, I would have stopped talking to you. I said, but I told you I didn't want any more kids. I didn't want any kids. But that's not the same thing. And I was like, well, I mean, the reason why I don't think is relevant, but I think me saying I don't want any more kids should be good enough for you to stop talking to me if that's the case. Because at that point, I'm not accusing her of trying to trap me, but I feel like you were kind of holding out hope that maybe you could get me to change my mind, or maybe something would happen and I would just have to just take it on the chin.
I am flabbergasted because I don't know which side to take right now.
Well, I mean, I can only be responsible for my side.
Right.
And I should have been more forthcoming. But that day was the day going forward that it's just like, yo, like, you want kids? I'm not the guy. I'm not the guy.
It's funny because I'm like, you are correct. If I tell you I don't want kids and you're upset when I tell you I can't have kids, then technically you are trying to trap me. Like, we can have that argument.
I don't want to say
or
trap, but
you thought you could change my mind, which is
even
even more hurtful because kids is something that, like, I feel like kids and marriage are two things you should never try to change anybody you're talking to minds about. If y'all don't have the same views, it should be a wrap, right? So I get it when you say, like, were you trying to trap me?
Well, the thing was too is that I really, like I said, we played the cat and mouse game, and I really liked her. I was very attracted to her. She was a nice girl too. But in my head, I'm like, damn, I know what she want. There's not going to be a future, but also, to be fair to her, maybe I was trying to change her mind.
I was just about to say that. And instead of me making an argument of her trying to trap you or her trying to change your mind, like you said, were you potentially trying to change hers? Did she have kids?
No, she didn't.
Yeah, you probably wasn't.
I was in my mind in like my own like unintentionally manipulative way. I was trying to see if I could get her to be okay with something that she wasn't okay with.
Yeah.
And again, so that's what I'm saying. I'm not going to sit here and make it seem like it was all her.
Yeah.
Because if I was more forthcoming, I know for a fact she would have cut me off. But that's, I think, why I wasn't more forthcoming, because I didn't want her to cut me off because I liked her.
It's funny that you say that. So I had a very similar experience. I was dating a guy and we were having intercourse. And the prolactive, is that what it's called? Prolactive? What is the P word for condoms? Insert here. It popped. Okay. And, afterwards, I'm like, yeah, just send me the money in the morning, right?
Why can't you pay for it?
Because I'm a lady, right?
Go ahead.
So the next day, had the same conversation. I'm like, hey, when you get a chance, just send me that money, right? And he's like, oh, yeah, no, we don't need to do all that. And I was like, well, why? And he's like, oh, I got a vasectomy.
Oh, so you've been through this?
Yes.
This is not the same two people. This is
no. We're not
not
talking about this. We're not talking about each other. No. So now the part that frustrated me was we had conversations about having more kids. He already had two. Oh, that's fucked up. He did have two. Oh my God. It's not Kev.
It's not me.
It's not Kev.
It's not me.
He had two, right?
But
now
girls or boys?
A boy and a girl.
Okay, I have two girls.
So his relationship with his being was trash though, right? So when we first started, because I got one, I'm like, yeah, I get it, but I don't get it. I want at least two more. And he was like, yeah, that's something that, I could potentially have a conversation about in 2 years, but I don't see that being a problem. He never said, I have a vasectomy. If he would have said he had a vasectomy, I would have stopped talking to him.
How old was he?
33.
Okay.
I would have stopped talking to him, but only because if you had a vasectomy on your own, you don't want to have kids. I don't want you to have kids because I want kids, because now that's where potential resentment could reside. Right. Like later on down the line, a nigga forget to turn the water off and flood the bathroom, and you like, I ain't with these fucking kids anyway. And now somehow it's my fault. So that is something that I absolutely would have stopped talking to him for.
Yeah, and it's funny you say that about the bathroom, because I'm very honest when I say it. Like, I was thrilled to have my second child, but I knew a third one, I would not be happy about it.
Yeah,
you wouldn't get like a yay text or a hug from me. I might hug you and say, oh, we're having a baby, but I also might in the back of my mind be like, fuck, I'm 39 now. I have a 20-year-old and I have a 9-year-old. And I look at my 9-year-old not as like just my daughter. I love her. That's my baby. But I look at her as 9 as like she's the halfway mark. I am halfway to freedom. And I will not hit the reset button again. I did it once when my oldest was 11, and I was cool with it. I was fine with it. Don't think that I'm like sitting here living in regret. But I'll be honest, there are some days where I'll be like, damn, I was done. And I started over.
I was almost there.
But you see how I am with my youngest daughter.
Yeah.
Like, she's attached to my hip. She likes everything I like. She likes the Eagles. Go Birds. She likes the Sixers.
Go Birds, dickhead.
So
you forgot the dickhead.
I don't talk like that. She likes the Phillies. I could take her to a Phillies game. Sixers, Eagles, Flyers. Whatever I want to do, she's with it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's like people ask me, did I want a boy? I'm like, I have a boy dog. That's my boy. But also my daughter, even though she's not a boy, sometimes I feel like I'm with my little homie.
Yeah.
Because she likes everything I like. Like I'm taking her to her first real Eagles game in November, and that's something that I want to experience with her because she wants to go. So she doesn't want to do the preseason games. I can't trick her with the preseason games anymore because she's like, "Where's Jalen Hurts and Saquon?" I'm like, "Over there in them hoodies. Shut up."
Oh my
Like, they're not playing today. But now
God.
I get to do that with her. But speaking to the point of 3 kids, if I had a third kid, wouldn't be any more Eagles games. There would be less Eagles games. There would be less of the things I like to do. And I'm in my selfish era. I want to do the things I want to do.
Cocky.
I want to do the things that I want to do. And I know that a kid would put a serious strain on that. So the game is over.
All jokes aside, I think it's very mature for you to be at a point in your life where you're like, yo, I finally want to put me first. And I honestly think that's where a lot of women, especially mothers, struggle at. We don't know how to step aside and say, I've devoted my life to, these little people, these other, extensions of me. I deserve some peace too. I deserve to put myself first too. I think that's where a lot of people struggle at. And it's commendable that you're able to be like, yo, not me.
I have a friend. I want to say he has 6 kids, and he's aiming for 10. And I'm like, nigga, you crazy? Like, there's nothing left. Like,
there's nothing left. It's crazy.
I mean, I'm saying, like, even to have 10 kids, like to want 10 kids. I mean, procreation is a beautiful thing when done right. What I mean by done right is like football player dude, Sean Alexander, his name is. He just had his 14th child with his wife. Mm-hmm. Like, that's cool if you can afford it. For me, I know that anything past what I have now is too much. And if there was ever like a slip and somebody called me and was like, hey, I'm got your baby, I'd be like, yeah, I don't think so.
Are you sure?
Pretty sure.
Aren't you supposed to like get it checked like every 5 years?
They didn't tell me that.
I think you are.
I got checked when you're supposed to go back like a week or 2 after you get it done.
Yeah.
And I did that, and I had to leave a sample in a cup.
I think you should still go back like every 5 years and leave a sample. If I'm not mistaken, to make sure it didn't reverse.
It doesn't reverse. The way I describe it to people, right? They ask me, how does it work? So I describe it like trying to get to New Jersey from Philadelphia without a bridge or a boat. Everybody jumps in the water and they try to swim across. Most people will not swim across from Philadelphia to New Jersey. They'll all probably drown. That's the science behind a vasectomy. The bridge is cut. They just remove the vas deferens. They split it in half. They burn each end, and then there's no more bridge to New Jersey. So
this nigga think he Bill Nye the Science Guy. Why would he describe it like that?
But that's the best way I can describe it. The swimmers can't get there because there's no way to get there. They can't cross the bridge. There's no bridge anymore. So they can't get across. If you take a bunch of people who can't swim and tell them to swim across the Delaware River, they're all going to drown. And that's the science. But one person could get across.
Yes.
Maybe.
Yes.
But the likelihood is like 99.99999%. We're talking about people who can't swim. Maybe this person grabs a branch and pulls himself across. Maybe he finds a tire and floats across. That's the one who can get out and create a baby.
As long as we're saying there is a possibility.
It's a very, very slim possibility. Like, there's a football player. He had a vasectomy and kept having kids after his. So either he lied to his lady or the doctor was trash. I don't know. Maybe he told her he got one and he didn't. And he had multiple kids. You can look it up, Antonio Cromartie.
This has been a moment in science brought to you by the voice of the vasectomy.
Don't do that. But seriously, like, that's the science. It's like they cut the bridge.
I want to know, like, what's the reaction from men when you tell them you have a vasectomy?
Nigga, you crazy.
Really?
I'm not getting my shit cut.
So your friends, none of them?
Like, one of my homeboys, he's I ain't gonna say his name, I ain't gonna say his age, I ain't gonna say nothing, I ain't giving no clues. But he likes to do it.
It's Earl.
We'll call him Earl. I told him, I'm like, yo, you should, you know what I mean? He like, I ain't doing that shit. I'm like, you gonna keep having kids? He like, if it is what it is. If that's God's will, then so be it. But then I have other homeboys who I told to do it. Some took too long to do it, but they eventually did it. When I say they took too long, they started having more kids and stuff before they followed the advice. But shout out to my doctor. I sent a lot of my homeboys to his office.
You get a discount?
Do I get a discount? My insurance paid for it.
No, I mean, like, do you get a kickback when you refer people?
Nah, I just want to pay it forward. I don't need a kickback.
God gonna bless you.
Yeah, because I have homies, like, one of my homies was the first one to do it. I'm not the first one. My homie A was. And he did it in his 20s. And he was like, I didn't even want one kid. And I was in a relationship. It happened. It is what it is. But I know I'm not having two. And he got it done in his 20s. So he put the bug in my ear to make it like a thing. Because I started entertaining ideas in my mid-20s. Because I met my youngest daughter's mom when I was 27. So the idea hit my mind 24, 25. But I'm like, I'm way too young the doctor's probably gonna tell me no, because they generally tell you like, yo, like this is a permanent decision, because you have a consultation with the doctor. You have one sit down. It's like 5 minutes. Like, are you sure you want to do this? Yeah, you know it's not reversible. Your insurance won't pay for the reversal. They'll pay for the procedure, but they won't pay to get it reversed. If you want to reverse, you got to pay out of pocket.
Okay.
So I was like, yeah, I'm cool with it, and went ahead with it a week later. But that was to my homeboy's point, was like, yo, I knew I didn't want 2 kids.
Yeah.
And I kind of thought he was crazy at first, but then as I started flirting with the idea, I didn't think that he was as crazy as I once thought. And when I got it done, and I'm not saying I'm out here just having guilt-free intercourse with everybody in the world, but in those times where maybe it's not available, and you know we adults, so you know nobody's gonna stop and put their pants back on and run to the gas station. It's very rare that happens, but you know, I don't want to be in a position of like having that thought in my mind that I can have another baby. So in that sense, I don't have the worry that a lot of people have.
Yeah.
And I'm not celebrating it. Like, I'm not spiking the football about it. But I'm just like, I can go home and know that I'm not having a baby.
Yeah. Might have chlamydia, but won't have a baby. So now we're going to do a few hot takes.
Okay.
We're going to say true or false, agree or disagree.
I may play.
You know, you may add your little spice on it, like Salt Bae if you want to.
I may say pass.
I feel like you deciding, you know, you don't want to have a vasectomy. You're really taking charge of your life, and you really have a different mentality. So I'm curious to see what your standpoint is on some other topics.
Okay.
All right, let's do some hot takes. Hot takes!
I might play.
First one. Men say they want peace, but keep dating women who start wars.
I'm guilty of that.
True or false, nigga?
Oh,
Ain't nobody
true,
see
true,
God.
true,
A hit dog gonna holler, ain't he? Golly!
I forgot it was true or false. True, very true. True.
You just pissed me off so bad you made me lose my spot.
Because it felt like a question. I'm sorry.
Oh my God. Next.
Ask me again?
Yeah. Hold on. Let me try to find my spot in my notes now. You know, maybe. Okay. I'm not asking you again also. Next. A vasectomy don't fix community dick behavior. It just makes it safer.
I don't know if that's the answer is safer. I think the answer is less worry. I mean, there's still things to worry about, but there's less worry about the reason you got the vasectomy, like kids.
Don't look at me. This is your hot takes.
I think I answered the question.
Okay.
I feel like I did.
Hot takes with the voice of the vasectomy. Next.
Crazy. That's a crazy name.
Women say they want soft love, but still fall for men who text you up.
True.
True means you feel that way for a majority.
Well, I mean, there was either one or the other.
What?
But I don't think setting you up is a bad thing, because maybe you up could be yes, and it's like, yo, look out the window.
He's not going to be out there with a boombox.
You don't.
He's not going to be out there standing with his Bible ready for a Bible study. He's not calling the prayer line.
But there's guys who do. So you don't know that. So I might text you like, yo, you up? I'm not saying me, but a man might text you, yo, you up? And you might be like, yeah, what's up? Hey, come to the door.
If you text me, you up? I know that leads to one thing.
Oh, we talking about at nighttime or in the morning?
Don't fucking play with me. Don't fucking play with me.
I was thinking in the
morning.
morning.
Don't play with me.
See, I was thinking in the morning. I don't think like, I was thinking in the morning.
Next.
I was thinking in the morning, like you.
I'm not just thinking trying to play me, and I don't like it.
Let's go to breakfast.
Go to hell. That's where we're gonna go. Next, men want submission but don't believe in direction.
You gotta ask that another way.
No.
Men want submission from a woman.
Men want submission from a woman.
In direction.
We're talking about majorities here.
Oh, that's true.
Thank you. That's all I really wanted to hear.
It's true because, I mean, I ain't the type y'all, people who know me and probably gonna see this episode and follow me on social media. Y'all know I don't cape for women. I don't cape, and I don't. What's the word I'm looking for? I don't simp. I ain't no simp. But I think a lot of men. First of all, I don't think any man who desires submission has to ask for it. I think any man.
So please say that one more time. Say that one more time for the people who did not hear you.
I don't think any man who desires submission, if you're doing the things that you're supposed to do, a woman will naturally fall in line. But not just any woman, because some women are, they like to fight. And it's just the way it is. So you just got to.
All right, come on. We were doing good. Let's get back to what we were doing.
We're gonna carry it in all directions. I think if you prove yourself capable to be a leader and she naturally trusts you, like I've had women say to me, I really feel safe when I'm with you. Like when we out, I know, you got your John with you or whatever, but you're a big guy. I feel comfortable around you. I feel safe. And that to me is like one of the things that gets to that submissive thing. But I don't even like the word submissive, because I would never tell a woman's father, yeah, your daughter needs to submit to me. Because I look at it like in terms of like when I was a kid wrestling, like submit was, I'm being honest, to submit was to give up, to give into someone's power, to their will.
Yeah.
And I don't want a woman to feel like she has to give into my will. Like,
Yeah.
no, like it's a partnership. But I do feel like in certain situations, like when you're with a woman has to trust your judgment, trust your street smarts. So like if I'm with a woman and we like out in public and we having a good time, and suddenly I'm like, yo, we gotta get up out of here. I don't want to argue with you in the middle of the place like why we gotta leave. I want you to trust my instincts and let me explain to you in the car why we had to go.
The crazy part is, it's power in being around a man that you can turn your brain off for. And I know, girls say that on the internet and it sound like it don't make sense, but if you're around a man that you feel comfortable with, like I know if something's going to happen, he has my best interest in mind, and he's going to make sure we're safe. He's going to make sure I get back home to my kids.
And I ain't talking about
like
we arguing in the restaurant.
Yeah,
I'm saying like remember I had a past as a police officer. So I ain't gonna say I made enemies, but there are people in the past who may not like me for one reason or another. Maybe they went to jail for 8 years or whatever. I was just doing my job. It is what it is. But maybe that person told me, yo, when I see you, it's up. And I might be out with my kid and my girl. And if I say to you like, yo, time to go.
It's time to go.
I don't want to. Well, why we got? No. Let's go now. And I don't want to have to like not drag you out, but I don't want to have to. Time is of the essence, and sometimes things have to happen. And the more time I spend explaining this to you,
the less time we had to get out of
we
here.
have to react, and I need to get you up out of here. And I'll explain in the car when we on 76 safely going home. But in this moment, I need you to trust me.
I don't think it's even always an altercation thing. Like just knowing your man has your best interest at mind.
Well, I mean, sometimes we drinking, sometimes whatever, but I need you to be able to look at my face.
Yeah,
and
like, no, we're not playing.
Yeah, he's not playing right now. This isn't like I'm tired, I want to get out of here. This is some serious shit is going on, and it's time to go.
Yeah.
And I want you to look at me like, oh, time to go.
All right, y'all, my man said I got to leave. I holler at y'all like,
I don't want to have to argue, well, why I got to leave? I'm having a good time because I said so, let's go. But that's the thing about submission and proving yourself capable to lead.
I just want to talk, I don't want to go on a tangent too far about this particular topic, but I think that a lot of times the men who be saying things like
they don't even have shit. They don't have anything.
What's the Cardi B joint?
Like myself, like to not to get too deep in whatever, but I'm a homeowner. I have a car. I got a few dollars. Nothing crazy. I'm okay. I'm
getting a good Christmas gift this year, y'all. I got it on wax. He got a few dollars.
But you know me. You never hear me talk like that. You know me from we talk pretty often. You never hear me say things like, "Oh, women got to submit to me," and I don't believe in that conversation. I just think that some things are done without being talked about.
I think the men who have that presence, though, and they have those things, they don't have to say it.
I agree. Like my daughter's grandfather is somebody I look up to. My oldest daughter's grandfather, I look up to him. I hold him in like the highest regard. And when he talks, I listen. And he has a air of masculinity around him that the way he stands, the way he sits, the way he talks to people, the way he communicates.
Yeah.
When I look at him, I see a man. I see somebody I want to model myself after. And over the years, as I've gotten older, I felt like I kind of mold myself more to the way he is and to the way that I used to be. But it comes with maturity too. But I say that to say, I watch how his wife is with him. She's never uncomfortable, but she's always at his service. But he's always at hers too. And he never has to tell her to do anything. She knows what makes him go, and he knows what makes her go.
Yeah.
And I never heard them talk about submitting to each other.
Yeah.
It's just a natural fit. And I think when the fit is natural and you have a woman, like women say they want to be led, but they don't really want to be led. And they want to be, I don't think women want to, I'm just get right to it.
I don't think women, I don't think that.
Women want simps with money.
No. I don't even think that's it. I think there is a plethora of men who are not in a position that they want to be. And because they are not where they are in their lives, they turn around and take that aggression out on you and saying they want someone to submit to them because they are actually submitting to someone else in their day-to-day life because they're not where they want to be.
Do you think you could submit to a man who's working towards the things that he wants to get?
Absolutely. Who has a plan and who's actually working? Yes.
Okay, fair enough.
But to a man who's like, I can submit to a person who's following their dreams. I cannot submit to someone who's a SoundCloud rapper.
But what if he's a good SoundCloud rapper? What if things are on their way?
If he's a good SoundCloud rapper, you would know that after an X amount of project, it's time to venture out into other avenues.
Well,
you can be successful in your SoundCloud career, but what else are you doing?
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, I mean,
you see what I'm saying?
not talking about like because I've heard dudes like who live with their moms. I'm like, yeah, these bitches gonna do what I say.
Prime
I'm
example.
Like, you gotta do what your mom say.
I met a man not too long ago, and I'm very quick when we're speaking. So you trying to get my number? Da 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 da. Okay, well, do you want kids? Yeah, I want kids. Do you want to get married? Yeah, I want to get married. Before I give you my number, because I don't want to waste nobody's time. So I need to listen. What are we doing? Do our values align or not? I'm not wasting nobody's time. I'm saving you, because if we go on a date, we go on 3 dates, and then you found out our values don't align. You don't wasted your money. So right up front, do we have the same values? Do they align? Yes or no? Do you want to have kids? Do you want to get married? This man says, yeah, I don't know, because I get married to like the right person. First red flag. Why would you be getting married to the wrong person?
Well, because it's trial and error.
No. Second, he says, I don't really want to give half of what I own to somebody. Like, I got properties and stuff like that. Like, I'm not really trying to do all that for somebody.
Excuse me.
4 weeks later, I found out that man does not have properties, and he lives with his mother. And it's not work. He is not working towards properties.
How did you find out he didn't have properties?
Because as you get niggas comfortable, they start talking.
Okay.
He then started talking about the problems with him trying to get the properties.
Oh, okay. Maybe he's playing Monopoly. I don't know.
No, you thought I was some wretched ass bitch that you probably was going to hit before this, so you didn't have to explain yourself.
See, I never had to do that. I don't have to lie about my past, my present, my future. I'm 39 years old. I'm comfortable in my skin. What you see is what you get. Marriage, I'm lukewarm to the idea, but from his perspective, I understand what he's saying. To the right person.
Why would you be marrying the wrong person?
Because people present characters of themselves. They present false characters. And when they get into that place of comfortability, a.k.a. marriage, people change. And that's a two-way street. Women think they're marrying the right man, and then when they get that ring, it's like, surprise, motherfucker. My representative is going now. I'm here.
I think that whenever there are stories of the woman turned out to be a gold digger or the nigga ain't shit, right? There's never people that are in their immediate circle that are like, oh my God, I would have never known. Somebody is always saying, I told you that shit was going to happen. But hear me out. Let me finish. We like to ignore red flags and then later on turn around and say, hindsight is 2020. No, it wasn't. Those are red flags. And you knowingly just ignored them. You didn't want to look at them.
Everyone has red flags. Everyone does. Nobody's perfect. Everybody has a red flag. It's just a matter of how red that flag is. That flag could be pink. It could be a light red flag. It could be something that you can work with. I'm not like, I know women who like are flat out about the money. Mm-hmm. That's the biggest red flag to me. Mm-hmm. I'm going. I'm not even gonna play that game. I'm not buying you.
And there are some men who will try to convince themselves that that's okay. And then later on they turn around and say she's a gold digger when she showed you who she was up front.
Well, I mean, that just comes down to what you're willing to tolerate and how much you're willing to put up with, and if you have to buy a woman. Some people have to buy a woman, some people don't.
I agree. Unfortunately, I agree. These are supposed to be hot takes, Kev. How we get all the way down this hole?
Because it's a rabbit hole. It's not a simple conversation of yes, no, or whatever. It's a conversation. But I do want to say this about that conversation about marrying the right and wrong person. History is our teacher, and we see these things not work out. So you can only like wonder, like, damn, am I gonna be like that? Because remember, when people fall in love and get married and have children, it was once a beautiful thing, and now these people hate each other. Something went left.
And honestly, sometimes it goes left ahead of time. We choose to ignore it.
Well, I'm saying the times that it doesn't. Sometimes they just go left, and you sitting there wondering, like, damn, what happened? And that's where I'm saying marrying the wrong person. Maybe it's something about them that you didn't see. Because people can hide things very well. I could hide my vasectomy until I'm married, get a woman to marry, be like, hey, guess what? I can't have kids, and you're married to me. Surprise, surprise. You know what I'm saying? It's you. But how would she know? She wouldn't know. So people can hide who they are, hide things about themselves. And when we get to that place, it's surprise, motherfucker.
Black lives, motherfucker.
I need all that. I need that.
Yeah.
And so when he said, I'll marry the right person, what that just means is I really have to vet this person very carefully and know that they got my back. Little things like just the way they treat you, the way they think about you, the little things they do. Like if you know I like banana pudding and we're in a relationship, you walk by a bakery, oh, he likes banana pudding. Let me get him some little things. Like, oh, he likes the Eagles. Let me get him this Eagles hoodie. It's the little subtle shit that assures us. And
what I'm saying is, if you made it to the 4-date mark,
okay,
and she has not done that at least one time,
ain't enough. 4 dates is 5 weeks.
4 dates is more than enough for her to see a little Eagles keychain and say, yo, I know he'd like that. 4 dates is enough for her to be walking on her way to her car and pass a bakery and say, I'm about to go link up with him.
But these are also women who say, I'm not cooking for no nigga until we're married.
Those are not the women you want to marry.
But you don't know until you
yes,
get to
you
that.
do, because she don't cook.
But you don't know right away. No, she might cook. She's just not sharing it with you.
That's another sign that she don't want to be there.
But
she don't want to do that with you.
People have unhealed trauma. And their reasons like, well, the last nigga I cooked for, he left me high and dry. So
and
I ain't
that's
cooking for
good.
no
Let
more
them
niggas.
resolve that trauma and you go find somebody who's already healed.
But you find out along the way. You don't know on the first date. You find these things out later. It's trial
That's
and
why I
error.
said by the 4th date.
I don't think the 4th date is nearly enough. I don't think that's enough time. We can go on 4 dates in 2 weeks. I could take you out on Monday, Friday, Wednesday, and Saturday.
Okay, so I'll take that back. Within a month.
I don't think a month is enough.
I've never been with somebody who within a month didn't already show me an inkling of who they really are and I didn't choose to ignore it.
In a month, they could also show you this fake-ass representative who they are. You don't know.
You can only keep the mask on for so long.
Yeah, but you can do it for more than a month.
And I'm going to tell you, after y'all stop talking, what's the first thing you do? You go to your friends and say, I knew that girl was the X, Y, and Z because she did da-da-da-da-da-da. You do know. You just choose to ignore it.
It's no different than the man in the beginning who buys you flowers and chocolates and takes you on dates. And when he gets comfortable, he just stops.
And what I'm saying is...
But it doesn't happen in a month. It can happen in 3 years.
What I'm saying is, after it's over, the girl is going to say to her friends in the group chat, and I knew that nigga wasn't really about that life because he bought me flowers from Trader Joe's instead of the actual flowers.
It took 3 years to find out?
It don't take
because
3 years to find out.
How many people spend years together and they find out shit about a man that they had no idea about, or a woman for that
unless
matter.
it's about their sexuality.
No, there's little things that people hide very well. It's called manipulation.
Okay, manipulation is a thing. Do you agree that hindsight is 20/20 is also a thing?
Yes.
What I'm saying is, when you say hindsight is 20/20, you're just acknowledging the red flags that you chose to ignore because all you're doing is bringing up instances that you should have paid attention to when it was happening, but you ignored it because you saw the good in that person and you wanted that person. We blatantly ignore red flags because we want to see the good in people. And then at the end of the situation, we turn around and say,
But again, everyone has a red flag. It's just a matter of how red it is to the person viewing it.
Mm-hmm.
To one person, it's not that big of a deal. To somebody else, it's a deal breaker.
I feel like we should transition out with something healed and grown.
Sure.
You know, us both, you know, still being in the dating pool, just on, you know, different opposite sides of the pool. You know, my pool has prenatal vitamins in it. Yours do not. Right?
Dry.
Your pool is dry. You're standing in the sandbox, actually, you know? So I wanted to ask you, what's one thing men don't know about vasectomies that you wish they did?
It doesn't change anything. Like your thing is not just going to stop working because of it. There's no connection to that part of the system. It is only to stop the sperm from traveling through and out. So, like, I forgot the exact science. I'm not doing that right now. I think, I want to say, like, either your body stops producing it, or it still produces it, but it just can't get across. It just kind of just dies in you. It just lives within, and they die in you, I guess. But they just stay there, or they just die and re-multiply or whatever, but they never make it to the place where they can inseminate, like, a woman's egg.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna be honest, yo, like, them kids expensive. And like my little one, my oldest, she's still a little spoiled, but not to the degree of my little one.
Dog, you just bought her a car.
That was 2 years ago. But I say that to say, like, the things that the life that my little one lives now is the one my oldest lived. But I know that I can't afford to do this a third time, nor do I want to. So I'm telling y'all, man, if y'all got kids and you just are out here having unprotected sex and you are fertile and you sleep with multiple women and shit like that, and you're not going to wear protection, because I know everybody's not going to. It's not always readily available and all that type of thing. Man, consider getting a vasectomy. It changes nothing, but it's almost like future financial security. It's peace of mind. It's less of a tie to somebody that you may not want to be with. If you have multiple kids by multiple women, you're probably not with any of their mothers. You probably have 3 kids by 3 women, 4 kids by 4 women. Don't make it 5. Be responsible to yourself. Be responsible to the kids that are already here. Be fair to them and not continue to make children. And then you may not have a car, so you got to get on the bus and go. I'm not being funny. Like, I'm being dead serious. But, like, no, I'm being serious. You might have to go take the bus to South Philly to go pick up one kid. And after you get that kid, you might have to take the bus back to Broad Street in City Hall and then get on the L and then go to 56 and Market to pick up kid 2.
Yeah.
And after that, you might have to get on the train again and go to Darby to pick up kid 3. That is not a life I envision for myself. And I have a car.
Yeah.
And I don't want to drive all over the city picking fucking kids up.
Okay.
I have 2 children. My oldest is 20 and on her own, doing her thing. She's flourishing. And my little one lives 5 minutes from me. It's beautiful. It's perfect.
Okay.
And that's the way that I wanted my life to be. So when people be saying to me like, man, you be doing all this, you be going to Eagles games, you be traveling, and you be doing, I'm like, well, yeah, because I have a bunch of fucking kids to take care of. If I had another kid, I probably would not be in Cancun right now. I'd probably, instead of going to Cancun and Jamaica and Dominican Republic and wherever else I want to go 3-4 times a year, might be a one-time thing a year. And I desire travel more than I desire another kid.
That's fire. I desire travel more than I
desire
desire
going
another
to see
kid.
the world, like some of the things I've been able to do this year, places I never thought I would see, I get to see now, and I don't have to worry about the responsibility of a child.
Well, thank you for coming and sharing your message.
Who wants to be a 45-year-old dad to a fucking newborn?
My future husband.
That nigga crazy. Better than me.
I know. So tell the people where they can find you at.
You can't.
Okay.
She can put my social media tag.
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna put it on if you don't want to share it. That's fine.
Because you know why? I'm
no, you don't have to share.
Let me tell you why.
Go ahead.
Because I'm paranoid, right? So I'm nothing to look at. In my mind, I'm nothing to look at. I'm just a guy. I'm not like that dude that thinks he's the shit that every woman wants. Some guys get the women, but I'm paranoid as fuck. So anytime somebody randomly follow, I'm like, what the fuck you want? Who the fuck sent you? That's how I look at it. Like, who the fuck sent you? You know what I mean? So
this studio is so chaotic right now.
yeah, my man doing pull-ups and shit. But no,
shots doing pull-ups.
But seriously,
Kev
like,
talking about being paranoid.
I am.
Get me out of here.
I am paranoid because it's like, why are you following me? There's nothing to see. Most of my page is my children. What the fuck you following me for? Ain't nothing to see here. So I'm very skittish when somebody like tries to follow me.
That's fine.
So I follow them first. They gotta accept my request. I gotta look at their page, make sure they're not an op. I see what neighborhood they from, things like that before I entertain that.
All right,
I'm
well,
paranoid like that. But yeah, if she posted it, y'all can have it. But I don't,
follow me on the gram at Stormy Pea, at Chocolate Chip and Sip. And if you don't remember anything else, please remember. Outfish, I said hi. Okay. And if you don't remember anything else, please remember you deserve king. I love you guys, and I'll see you next week. Peace.